I can assure you that bridge inspections are occurring daily across the Commonwealth. We have approximately 5,000 bridges in Massachusetts that MassDOT is responsible for, and they are inspected on at least a 2-year cycle, every single one of those bridges. So we have inspection crews out there across the state looking at these bridges constantly, and that's a hands-on inspection that we do. When a bridge is found to have an unsafe element, we work to take immediate action, and that can be either an emergency repair or it can mean a full closure of the bridge, and it's something that we don't fool around with. If we see something that we think is going to be unsafe for the traveling public, we want to take that immediate action and err on the side of caution. I also wanted to address what is known as structurally deficient bridges. That's something that has been reported on pretty frequently lately for a variety of reasons, including what they're working on right now with the Washington Bridge down in Providence. So structurally deficient bridges, just by definition, are bridges that have certain elements that have deteriorated to the point where they need more frequent maintenance than what we need on our regular bridges. So to stress, though, however, structurally deficient does not mean unsafe. It means, again, an added level of maintenance is required to keep them in a safe condition, and that's something that we have a very robust maintenance program to ensure that we keep all of those bridges safe. And we have about 12% of our inventory is considered structurally deficient, but again, that does not mean unsafe, and when we find a bridge that is unsafe to travel upon, we take immediate action, either those emergency repairs or full closures. So there's been a lot of questions about, do we have any similar bridges in Massachusetts to what occurred down in Baltimore? The two main bridges that I can point to that are similar in structure and actually have maritime traffic underneath them are the Tobin Bridge and also the Braga Bridge on Fall River. And to be clear, those are both truss-style bridges, which is what you saw in Maryland. And again, they're over a navigation channel. About half of Massachusetts bridges carry traffic over waterways. Specifically, we have 85 structures that are over navigable waterways. And in those cases, as is the case with the Braga and with the Tobin Bridge, there are precautions that are taken. There are certain guidelines and certain requirements that are imposed upon us as we build those projects, as we maintain and replace those bridges, to ensure that they meet modern standards and that they remain safe and safe for use by marine traffic as well. So I can tell you that from a standpoint of, is there a lot of similarity between Massachusetts and Baltimore? There is not. We are not the same size port as they have in Baltimore. We don't have the same size navigable waterways, nor the same size bridges. But again, we do have similar situations. As the Secretary noted, however, the Governor convened a meeting this morning. It included MassDOT, the Coast Guard, Massport, the Boston Pilots Association, as well as a number of others, Coast Guard, et cetera, to really talk about safety in our maritime traffic. And I think it was reassuring for everybody involved that we have a very safe system. We have some very, very strong maritime professionals that ensure that the waterways are safe. And again, Massachusetts bridges are worked on every single day by professionals to ensure that Massachusetts bridges are safe for the traveling public. So I want to now open it up for any questions, and again, before closing, just stress that this is going to be a long process to determine what exactly went wrong in Baltimore. We are going to be monitoring it very, very closely, and again, I want to stress that our bridge system is safe. We continue to work every day to ensure that it's safe, and that we put a lot of investment to make sure that the traveling public is reassured as they travel over our bridge system that they are doing so in a safe way. So with that, happy to take any questions.
Are you able to talk, it seems like the issue here is mainly the bridge. How much in terms of...
So I'd refer you to the Coast Guard and to the Boston Pilots. I can tell you that based on the discussion we have today, they indicated it's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2,000 movements of large ships that come in and out of Boston Harbor. There is, we have a much different system from the sounds of it than they do in Baltimore. The Pilot Association starts, and tugboats travel with those ships as they travel in and out of the harbor from start to finish. That seems to be a little bit different than what occurred down in Baltimore on this case.
The Governor mentioned you guys able to discuss that.
So I can tell you that a number of years ago, we were getting a LNG tanker about once every 4 to 5 weeks. It was a pretty common occurrence. The number of LNG tankers that go under the Tobin Bridge now has diminished significantly. There's somewhere between 3 and 5 a year. Most of them are unloaded now elsewhere. They don't have to go down the Chelsea Creek. So very, very few of them.
Where do they go?
I can't say for sure. I understand there's some that again go to East Boston, and there's a couple other places that they offload, but very few of them come up the creek anymore.
In terms of the sheer size of what we saw, that barge, I mean, that size?
We don't certainly see very many of them that size in Massachusetts, and not that we're aware of traveling under our bridges. I can't really answer that. I'd have to refer to the Coast Guard on that. Sagamore and Bourne are also of a similar type. Those are ones that we have a very close partnership with Army Corps of Engineers who owns those bridges. Similar to a number of other bridges that are navigable waterways, the piers, so the structure that got hit by that ship in Baltimore was a pier, and it was in the navigation channel. My understanding is both the Bourne and the Sagamore, as well as the Tobin, those piers are all outside of the navigation channel. So a ship would run aground before they hit those piers and cause any structural damage.
What size ships go through the canal?
I can't say. I know based just on our project work, it's predominantly recreational ships, however.
One more?
We can get you those numbers. Off the top of my head, you're talking about 100,000 vehicles per day with the Tobin, similar amount with the Braga, a little bit less. So both take a lot of vehicles, and as does this one that was in the collapse. I think that takes quite a bit more, like about the same category as about the Turnpike every day if travels over 695.
Last one over here. The safety and engineering concerns for objects striking like a ship from underneath.
Yeah, we take whenever we build a project for the last 30, 40 years, there's very strict standards as to what you are able to build in the water, so that you are very mindful of the kind of traffic that you're going to be getting both above and below the bridge. So we put in fender systems where appropriate, dolphins and other systems that prevent the ships from coming in and striking those piers and causing damage.
All right. Thank you, everyone.